So we've recently returned from our October camping trip, and now we're doing October jobs in the garden. It's a bit of a different year this year, and so I'd like to track for future where the season's at in late October 2025, and the jobs that we're doing, trying to get a little more organized and predictable with what we do in the yard and garden. A couple of projects that we have tackled so far is worked on the Gunnera and cut it back and laid the leaves over for keeping the roots, the crown, whatever that's appropriately called, protected in the wintertime. No, Maggie, out of there. So despite some weird weather this weekend, we moved on to harvesting the last of the tomatoes, which seems incredibly odd for late October. And cleaning up the ground cherries. They look a bit dirty, but hoping that some of the dampness, when it goes away, we can just brush off the dirt, because a lot of those are still actually good and edible. We've been enjoying them. Stellar jay just outside the door of the greenhouse. So that's interesting to also remember for future, is the stellar jays are here in late October. So let's get out my peanut ring and fill it up with some peanuts, because they're fun to watch. Anyway, a job that I'm tackling, but I probably should have done sooner, is the fennel. So I cut it back about a month ago, but now the fennel seeds don't look fantastic. So a note to my future self to do that project a little earlier. And as far as what's going on in the greenhouse, first autumn with the greenhouse, I have a squash plant, autumn gold squash. It's alive, but barely surviving. The cucumber plant looks like it's on its last legs, so I think I should just remove it. I brought some eggplants in from the garden, and they're just sitting there. Well, it looks like they're getting a little bit of new growth. They might not be getting quite enough light. And then some pepper plants that I moved in, and some tomatoes. So this is an experiment to see if the tomatoes will grow and fruit. Something ate the top off my Happy Rich broccoli, so I'm gonna have to do something else in that pot. And then the peppers here, the loofah that I moved in like August or September, is growing really well, but the fruits are so small that I don't think I will have fruits for the timing that I was hoping for. Oh, where am I? So I was hoping to have sizable enough fruits ready for some Christmas gifting. Anyway, brought some coleus cuttings in, and they seem to be doing okay. The eucalyptus is still just sort of sitting there, so hopefully I can limp it through this winter in the greenhouse and it'll do okay. I think now I could probably hang my hanging plant back up again. And the lemongrass is doing great. We started some peas. They're not doing a ton either. So again, just a year of experimentation. So we'll see how this all goes. Speaking of experimentation, when I was cleaning up the tomato plants in the vegetable garden, I took some cuttings and I'm hoping they're going to root. So anyway, a little bit warm in here right now. It's 29.8 after a low of 7.7 last night. So 29.8 is a bit warm. So we'll leave the door to the greenhouse propped open. Currently has Maggie standing in it. And maybe just have a quick look around the yard just so we can remember what this season looked like in late October. Again, so many green leaves yet to change color. The burning bush is spectacular and dropping leaves. So that feels more or less on schedule. The blueberries are also spectacular. But again, the apple tree hasn't dropped all of its leaves yet. And there's just a lot of green. The hazelnut is starting to change color. But again, there's minimal leaves on the ground, and it's not because we've tidied them up. It's just because they just haven't dropped yet. So this is basically what things look like in late October 2025. Sort of shockingly green. This year I'm experimenting in the vegetable beds with some winter field peas to try and improve the soil and fix some nitrogen. We'll see how effective that is. So it seems to be growing pretty well. So I did that sort of sporadically in the beds with some seed I had left over from previous years. So I really need to do some more cleanup in these beds. Left these volunteer fennel plants in. We do like fennel, so we'll harvest them even though they're pretty skinny. But underneath there is the garlic. So pretty happy that job is done. And then just sort of recap what the banana looks like now that we got that put away this past weekend. So this year so far, what we did is we cut back the banana, took away the leaves, put those in the compost, wrapped the banana in burlap, and then put over our mattress bag, put on the wire mesh cage that we have, and then tied in to support the mesh so that it doesn't droop down and fall on the banana and the whole thing push on the stalks that are inside. So Mike's thinking about potentially adding in some leaves when we have dry leaves to add in. So that's just a recap of where garden chores are at and where the garden's at in late October 2025.